Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going deep down the rabbit hole, man. We're talking about NASA, space exploration, and all the crazy conspiracy theories surrounding them. Now, I'm not saying I believe all this stuff, but some of it, man, it makes you think, like, what if there's more going on out there than they're letting on? We're talking about aliens, secret missions, cover-ups, the whole 9 yards. We're going to be looking at some of the most popular and some of the most out-there theories about NASA. Stuff like, what if the moon landing was faked? What if they're hiding evidence of alien life? We're going to break it all down, look at the evidence, and try to make sense of it all. Now, I'm not a scientist, I'm just a guy who's fascinated by this stuff. But I've had some really smart people on my podcast, like Jacques Vallée, who's a freaking astrophysicist and computer scientist. And he says some of this stuff is worth looking into. So buckle up, because we're about to blast off into the world of NASA conspiracy theories. This is going to be a wild ride. All right, so let's kick things off with a classic, the Black Knight satellite. This thing is like the OG of space conspiracy theories. People have been talking about it since the 50s, man. Basically, the story goes that there's this mysterious object orbiting Earth, and it's been up there for thousands of years. Thousands. Now, most satellites we send up there, they don't last that long. They fall back down to Earth, burn up in the atmosphere, you know the deal. But not the Black Knight. This thing is just cruising around up there like it owns the place. And some people believe it's an alien satellite sent here to keep an eye on us. I mean, think about it. If you were an advanced alien civilization, wouldn't you want to keep tabs on the up-and-coming species on this little blue planet? And there have been some weird sightings over the years. People reporting seeing this strange dark object in the sky moving in ways that our satellites just don't move. Some even claim to have picked up radio signals from it. Now, NASA, they say it's all just space debris, old rocket parts, that kind of thing. But some people aren't buying it. They think NASA is hiding something. They think the Black Knight is the real deal, and they're covering it up to avoid mass panic. I don't know, man. It's a weird one. All right, so we're going from a mysterious satellite to the moon landing itself. Now, the Apollo 11 mission, that was a huge moment for humanity. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, walking on the moon, planting the American flag, the whole world watching. But what if I told you that wasn't the whole story? There's this conspiracy theory that says while Armstrong and Aldrin were up there, they saw something they weren't supposed to see. Something alien. Some people believe that NASA has been covering up evidence of extraterrestrial life for decades, and that the Apollo 11 mission was no different. They say that Armstrong and Aldrin actually encountered aliens on the lunar surface, and that NASA cut the feed, silenced the astronauts, and erased all evidence of the encounter. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, that sounds crazy, right? But there are people out there who swear it's true. They point to strange anomalies in the Apollo 11 footage, like unexplained lights and shadows, and they claim that there are gaps in the official audio recordings where the astronauts can be heard talking about seeing something incredible. Of course, NASA denies all of this. They say there's no evidence of any alien encounters during the Apollo 11 mission, and that all the so-called anomalies can be explained rationally. But still, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? All right, so we're talking about the moon landing, right? One of the most iconic moments in human history, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, planting the American flag on the lunar surface. But what if I told you some people think it was all a big hoax? A giant leap for Hollywood, maybe, but not for mankind. I mean, think about it. The technology back then, it wasn't exactly what we have today. Plus, there's that whole Cold War thing going on, the US and Russia trying to one-up each other. Lots of pressure to be first to the moon, even if it meant faking it. And there are some weird things about the photos and footage, like the flag waving in the wind. But there's no wind on the moon, and the shadows look all funky, like they were lit with multiple stage lights. I'm not saying it's definitive proof, but it makes you think, man. I've had guys on the podcast, real smart dudes, who've studied this stuff. And they'll tell you there are inconsistencies, questions that need answers. Did we really go to the moon? Or was it all a big elaborate lie? It's a rabbit hole, man, I'm telling you. A deep, dark rabbit hole. So we all know the story of Apollo 11, right? The supposed first time humans set foot on the moon. But what about the missions that came after? Apollo 12 through 17, sure. But what about after that? What about Apollo 18, 19, 20? Some people, and these are not your average tinfoil hat-wearing folks, believe these missions happened but were never made public. That's right, kept under wraps, top secret, need-to-know basis. And what did they find up there? That's the real question, isn't it? There are rumors, whispers on the internet about these lost missions uncovering something extraordinary, something that would change our understanding of the moon, of space, maybe even of ourselves. Some say they found evidence of alien life. Others, ancient ruins. I'm talking massive structures like something out of 2001, a space odyssey. The kind of stuff that would make you question everything you thought you knew about the universe. All right, so we're blasting off to Mars now. The red planet. Always been a source of fascination for us humans, right? And back in 1993, NASA launched the Mars Observer, a spacecraft designed to orbit Mars and send back all sorts of data. Problem is, it vanished, just like that. Poof, gone. Official story is they lost contact. Technical difficulties, they said. But some people, they smell something fishy. They think the Mars Observer found something it wasn't supposed to, something big. We're talking signs of life, man, maybe even evidence of a past civilization. Think about it, we've only scratched the surface of Mars exploration. Who knows what's really up there? Some believe the Mars Observer sent back images, maybe even video that would blow the lid off everything. And that NASA, they shut it down, covered it up, made it disappear. All right, folks, buckle up because this one is a doozy. We're talking about Planet X, also known as Nibiru, a hypothetical planet lurking in the outer reaches of our solar system. Conspiracy theorists claim this thing is on a collision course with Earth and that NASA is covering it up to prevent mass panic. I mean, imagine the chaos if everyone knew a giant planet was about to smash into us. The stock market would crash, people would be freaking out, it would be absolute mayhem. But is there any truth to this whole Planet X thing, or is it just another internet rabbit hole? Some folks point to ancient Sumerian texts that supposedly describe this rogue planet, saying it swings by Earth every few thousand years, causing all sorts of havoc. They claim NASA has evidence of its existence, but is keeping it under wraps. Now, I'm not saying I believe it, but it's definitely a wild theory, right? We're talking about a planet that could potentially wipe out all life on Earth. And some people think the government is hiding it from us. It makes you think, man. All right, let's talk about something that sounds straight out of Star Wars, but could be closer to reality than we think. We're talking about advanced propulsion technology, stuff like anti-gravity, warp drives, the kind of tech that could revolutionize space travel as we know it. Now, the official line is that we're still decades, maybe even centuries away from cracking the code on this kind of technology. But some people believe that NASA, or maybe some other shadowy government agency, has already figured it out and is keeping it under wraps. I mean, think about it. If we could travel faster than the speed of light, we could explore the galaxy, visit other star systems, maybe even find some alien civilizations. It would be the biggest discovery in human history, right? But some folks think that this knowledge is too dangerous, that it could fall into the wrong hands and be used for nefarious purposes. So, they say it's being kept secret, locked away in some underground bunker somewhere. All right, folks, let's take a trip back in time to the Cold War. A time of intense rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union, a race to space that captivated the world. Everyone knows Yuri Gagarin, the first man in space, a Soviet hero. But what if I told you there were others, cosmonauts who went up before him but never came back? That's right. We're talking about the lost cosmonauts. Shadowy figures whispered about in hushed tones, their existence denied by the Soviet government. Some believe they perished in failed missions, their capsules lost in the vastness of space. Others claim they made it back to Earth only to be silenced, their stories buried to protect the Soviet Union's image. It's a chilling thought, man. Imagine being one of those cosmonauts strapped into a tiny capsule, rocketing into the unknown, knowing that your fate might be erased from history. The space race was a time of incredible achievement, but it was also a time of intense secrecy and fierce competition. Is it possible that lives were lost, sacrifices made in the name of national pride? All right, so we're talking about Mars again, and specifically this place called Valles Marineris. Now, this isn't your average canyon, folks. This thing is massive, like mind-blowingly huge. It's like if you took the Grand Canyon stretched it all the way across the United States and then made it like 4 times deeper. That's Valles Marineris. Just try to wrap your head around that for a second. So, naturally, when you see something that enormous, you've got to wonder how the heck it formed. Now, the scientists, they'll tell you it's all about tectonic plate shifting and volcanic activity, you know, the usual suspects. But some people, and I'm not saying they're wrong, they're looking at this thing and saying, hold on a minute, this looks awfully intentional. And you know what? They might be onto something. I mean, the scale of this canyon, it's just hard to ignore. And when you start looking closer, you see these strange formations, these geometric shapes that don't really fit with your typical geological processes. It's like someone took a giant chisel to the surface of Mars. So, we all know NASA, right? The guys in the blue jumpsuits sending rockets into space, landing rovers on Mars, they're like the rock stars of space exploration. But what if I told you that NASA is just the tip of the iceberg, that there's a whole other space program out there operating in the shadows with technology so advanced it would make your head spin? This, my friends, is the theory of the secret space program. And it gets pretty wild. We're talking about black budgets, reverse-engineered alien technology, bases on the moon and Mars, maybe even interstellar travel. I know, it sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie. But think about it. Why does the government keep so much classified information about space? Why all the secrecy surrounding UFO sightings? And why, despite all our technological advancements, are we still using rocket technology that's basically half a century old? Some people believe that the real space program, the one with the really cool toys, is hidden from the public eye. All right, let's talk about aliens, man. Specifically, the idea that they're trying to contact us, sending signals out into the vastness of space, hoping that someone, somewhere, will pick them up. Now, most people have heard of the WOW signal, right? That mysterious radio signal detected back in 1977 that some scientists believe could have been a message from an extraterrestrial civilization. But here's the thing. What if the WOW signal wasn't a one-off? What if we've been picking up other signals, maybe even more compelling evidence of alien contact, that's being kept under wraps? That's the theory behind the suppression of alien signals. It suggests that governments and organizations like NASA and SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, are deliberately hiding evidence of alien contact from the public. Now, why would they do that? Well, there are a few theories. Some people believe that governments are afraid of mass panic if the truth about aliens were to get out. Others think that they're trying to control access to advanced alien technology. And still others believe that it's all part of a larger conspiracy to keep humanity in the dark about our true place in the universe. All right, so we're talking Skylab, man. America's first space station. These astronauts are up there, right? Pushing the boundaries of what we know, floating around, doing science stuff. But here's the thing. People say they weren't alone up there. Imagine being strapped into this metal can, hurtling through space, and you see something out the window, something you can't explain. Some say the Skylab astronauts saw some seriously weird stuff. We're talking unidentified flying objects, my friends, UFOs. And it wasn't just a one-time thing either. Apparently there were multiple encounters. Now, NASA has denied all of this, of course. They say it's all just space debris or tricks of the light. But some people believe that NASA knows more than they're letting on. All right, so we've all seen the photos of the moon landing, right? But what if I told you that NASA might be hiding something in those pictures? What if there's more to the moon than meets the eye? Some people believe that NASA has found evidence of ancient civilizations on the moon. We're talking ruins, artifacts, maybe even some weird alien writing. They say these structures are ancient, maybe even predating human civilization. And the crazy part is, some people think NASA has been airbrushing these structures out of the photos they released to the public. I mean, it sounds crazy, right? But think about it. If there really were remnants of an ancient civilization on the moon, wouldn't it change everything we thought we knew about history? Now, NASA denies all of this, of course. But some people believe that they're part of a massive cover-up, hiding the truth about what's really up there. Why would they do that? Who knows, man? Maybe they don't want to cause a panic. Maybe they're trying to control the narrative. Or maybe, just maybe, they're trying to protect us from something. All right, so we're talking about Mars rovers, right? These things are rolling around the red planet, snapping pictures left and right. But what if I told you that some of those pictures, the juicy ones, never see the light of day? That's what some people believe, man. They think NASA is holding out on us, redacting the good stuff. I mean, think about it. Mars is a gold mine for conspiracy theories. We're talking about the possibility of ancient civilizations, alien life, you name it. So it's not that crazy to think that NASA might be a little cautious about what they release to the public. They don't want to cause a mass freakout, right? And the thing is, there have been some weird anomalies in the photos that NASA has released, like strange shapes, weird shadows, things that just don't look natural. Now, I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's definitely weird, right? So you got these blurry images, these conveniently placed glitches, and then you got NASA playing it all coy. It's enough to make you wonder, man. Are they hiding something big? Are they protecting us from something we're not ready for? Or are they just messing with us? All right, so we're going to Antarctica now, the coldest, windiest and driest continent on Earth. It's like another planet down there, man. And I'm not just talking about the penguins, we're talking about the possibility of something truly mind-blowing. A secret alien base hidden beneath the ice. I know, it sounds crazy. But hear me out, Antarctica is a mysterious place. It's huge, it's remote, and most of it is unexplored. Plus, it's not exactly the easiest place to get to. You need special equipment, a team of experts, and a whole lot of courage. So what if, and this is a big what if there's something down there that we're not supposed to see? Something that would change everything we thought we knew about our place in the universe? It's not impossible, right? And the thing is, there have been some strange stories coming out of Antarctica over the years. Stories of unexplained lights in the sky, strange objects buried in the ice, and even encounters with beings that defy explanation. Now, I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's definitely weird, right? We've covered some wild theories about NASA, aliens, and the mysteries of the universe. From the Black Knight satellite to the redacted Mars rover findings, these stories make you question everything. These stories persist in popular culture and among conspiracy theorists, but are not supported by verified data or scientific evidence. NASA, like many government agencies, is often the subject of such theories due to the secretive nature of some of its operations and the inherent mystery of space exploration. Whether you believe in alien encounters, secret space programs, or government cover-ups, one thing's for sure: the truth is out there, somewhere. Keep questioning, keep exploring, and always keep an open mind. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, come on over and join our family by subscribing to our channel. May God bless you and all your endeavors. Thank you for watching.